Hey guys, this is Nic Skovgaard coming to you live from AlterEgo's $1 Million Roundtable. Today I want to talk a little bit about a speech that I've got upcoming here. So in just about a week here, I'm going to be speaking to a class at Southern Illinois University, a Sales 101 class, and I wanted to share with you a couple of my thoughts as I sort of get them ready for this upcoming speech. The first thing I want to talk to these kids about is the fact that my name is Nic Skovgaard. I'm the owner of AlterEgo Marketing, and what we do truly every single day is a form of sales. People have this misconception about what sales is. They know somebody who's in the business of sales who does it in a sleazy way. The typical used car salesman, deceitful, would sell ice to Eskimos, just a sleazeball, and that's what they have in their mind. So when they hear about learning to sell, when they hear about a class designed to teach you how to sell, the perception is often selling something that you don't believe in to someone who doesn't need what you want for a price that is completely unfair, and the idea is to trick them into buying it. The bottom line is that could not be farther from what the profession of sales is actually all about. People have this misconception because you've seen movies about sales. You've seen The Wolf of Wall Street. You've seen Boiler Room. You've seen pick any of these movies, these car salesman movies, and it's always about tricking this person into buying this old beater car or this stock option that's absolute garbage and paying way too much for it and taking their money. So at AlterEgo Marketing, we sell to clients every single day. We sit down with them, we consult with them, we get to know their business, we get to know their needs, and then we help them buy the things that are best for them, for their marketing plan, for their marketing objectives. So we use a term, we always come back to a phrase called the highest and best use. So what's the highest and best use of every single marketing resource? What's the highest and best use of every single marketing dollar in your budget? Because frankly, it doesn't matter if your marketing budget is $100, $100,000, or $100 million. Sooner or later, you're going to run out of money. No one has so many marketing dollars that they cannot possibly spend them all. That's not a thing. It doesn't exist. So when we sit down with local businesses, we know their resources are finite, and their goals are different, and their objectives are different, and the things that they want to do with that money are different. But they still have to work within a marketing budget. They still have to get a return on their investment that makes that marketing budget worthwhile. And we still have to provide them with a level of value that makes our time and our advice worth that investment. So we are salespeople. We sit down and convince people to buy media, to buy television, to produce radio commercials, to redesign logos, to rebrand, to use higher quality printing every single day. Now, do we do this to make a dollar? Absolutely. But do we do this in spite of our customers to make money off of them in a predatory way? Never. Never. That is not something that we're here to do. In fact, I don't want a customer's money unless I think that I can honest to God help them. It's like the Hippocratic Oath, but for marketing. Do no harm. I'm not here to hurt a client. I've turned away clients before who've wanted me to help them because my fee, what it costs to get me to show up, is going to detrimentally affect their marketing campaign. I would rather have them take that money to Facebook, throw on an ad campaign, and just guess with that money than to soak up 50, 60, 70, 80% of their total marketing budget, paying me to spend the other remaining 20% effectively. That doesn't make any sense. I'm good. I'm proud of everything that we do, but I'm not that good. I'm not worth taking the lion's share of your marketing budget and investing it in me to not spend any money actually running your ads. That doesn't make sense. So, as a salesperson, I have to walk that fine line between acquiring new customers, vetting new leads, giving marketing advice that makes my company money, but that also does right by my customers. Because my reputation is worth more than any single client, any single project, period. So, what is sales? I I'm a huge fan of Dale Carnegie, and I follow people like Grant Cardone, who I think is a rock star. He's your used car salesman, all win at all costs. He is crazy, and I love him, and I love his stuff. But Dale Carnegie is the principle that I hold true. That is basic selling 101, and it's by building relationships, by building pathways to connect with customers to become a co-buyer, understanding what they actually need and helping them make a buying decision that is appropriate for them. Every salesperson knows that the highest and best compliment you can possibly give to another salesperson is a referral. Your thank you card is great. Your handshake is wonderful. But if you really loved what I do, if I did my job very well, better than anyone else, what you're going to do is you're going to send me another customer. You're going to send me your friend, your family, somebody who you run into on the road. Hey, do you like your car? I love it. You got to go see Nick down at the Ford dealership. That's the mark of a great salesperson. And if I lie to you, if I mislead you, if I con you out of your money, that cannot happen. Because if you leave feeling buyer's remorse and you leave feeling regret and you hate what I talked you into buying against your will, you're not going to send people to me. Plain and simple. And think about how much money that costs a career salesperson over their lifetime. It's enormous. It's more money than they will get from any other lead, any other resource ever. Total, no questions asked. So what about me? What makes me an expert on sales? Well, first of all, the answer is nothing. I'm not an expert on sales. I've done sales the majority of my career. One of my very first jobs was in telemarketing, and that was a hard job. I worked for AT&T, and I got kicked in the teeth every single day for a year. And it was a hard job, but I was good at it. I did great job selling. I thought I was doing okay. I thought I was helping customers for the most part, and I wouldn't say I was wrong, but it wasn't something that I loved and believed in. So then I went to work for a small local newspaper. I went on to work for radio ad sales. I went on to work for a very large newspaper selling ads. And although these were jobs that I liked and products that I generally believed in, it wasn't being true to myself, because at the end of the day, I always felt like I was fighting with one hand tied behind my back. I felt like I was stuck selling one-size-fits-all products to clients when sometimes I would be selling for the newspaper and what I thought they really needed was a TV commercial. Sometimes I would be selling for the newspaper and what I really thought they needed is a better logo. And I didn't have that option. So I had to talk them into buying something that maybe wasn't perfect. Now, it wasn't something that I didn't believe in. It wasn't something where I'm bilking them out of their money. That wasn't it at all. But it wasn't the best solution. It wasn't the highest and best use of their dollars. And so that is a turning point in your career. If you're going to do sales, you need to find something that you can believe in. You need to be able to be honest with yourself and with your client. And if you cannot do that and you feel icky going to work at a sales job, then it is not for you. That is not the right sales job. You can make a ton of money in sales. If you're good at it, you can make great money and you can sell anything. There are salespeople working in every industry, in every category, selling every kind of product imaginable. But not all of them are salespeople. Not all of them are salespeople. You don't have to have sales on your business card to be a salesperson. I'm a salesperson. I sell things to my customers every single day, but I'm not in sales. So the biggest mistake that anyone can make right out of the gate with sales is assuming that you know what it is. Assuming that it's a sleazy used car salesman. Assuming that you have to sell things that you don't believe in or that you have to compromise your morals. In fact, that is not the case at all. If you're a good salesperson, if you're an introvert, you are more likely to be a phenomenal salesperson than any other way. So here's what you have to know. You have to know yourself, you have to know your product, and you have to have a fundamental skill set for sales. You have to understand what sales actually is. Dale Carnegie said that sales is a transfer of confidence. If you are confident in yourself, if you are confident in your product, you can sell it. Now, I want you to imagine for just 1 second that the world is going to end. The world is going to end. And you have a spaceship and you can save 20 of your best friends, 20 of your family members. Now you have to go to them and convince them to get on your spaceship. And this may sound crazy because there's no thing that lets them know the world is going to end. Now you're selling. Make no mistake about it. You're trying to convince them. You know for a fact that not only is there a giant problem, but that you have the only solution. And it's not a small matter. This is life or death. Can you convince them? Can you sell them that your idea is right? The answer is of course. Of course, because you believe in it, you know it to be true. That's critically important. And if their life depends on it, you don't think you could convince them to go? Look, if you can sell anyone on that idea right there, someone that you love and care about, to something that you fundamentally know is true and 100% believe is not only imperative, but is an emergency. If you can sell other products with the same resolve and confidence that you can sell that idea, then you're going to be successful at sales. It's not that hard. If you're selling snow cones to Eskimos that they can make themselves in their own backyard, and you're stealing from them, then yes, you should have a hard time selling that. And if you're not, maybe you're a sociopath. But that's not what sales is. It's not what sales is supposed to be. And in the vast majority of real professional selling jobs, that is very much the case. So here's the other thing. The other thing that most people don't realize is that sales is not just for salespeople. Why is there this misconception that if you get a degree in sales or you learn how to become a salesperson, that you have to go work in that field? Who here works in sales? Who here wants to be a used car salesman? The answer is most of you are going to do things that have nothing to do with the title of sales. You're not going to go work at some factory where you sell widgets to the other factories. That's not it. That's not going to be your job. What you're probably going to go do is work in an office. You're going to be a doctor. You're going to be a lawyer. You're going to be in the pharmaceutical industry. You're going to be a scientist. You're going to be a baseball coach. What does sales have to do with any of that? Sales is a lifelong, fundamental skill that transcends all industries, every single industry category. There is someone who has the same skill set as you, who looks just like you, who works in your company, who is more successful than you because they have one distinct advantage. They can outsell you. They can convince people that they have good ideas. They can convince people that they have leadership traits. They can convince people to follow them. They can convince people to spend their money in certain new places. And if that's not you, then you have to ask yourself, if you don't have that skill set, then what disadvantage do you actually have? Look, every single day, somebody goes to their boss and pitches them a new idea, a new program, a new platform. They pitch them on giving them an extra week of vacation, or letting them take the day off sick, or letting them be gone for their kids' first football game, whatever it is. Speaking of that, you might coach a little league team. You might be on the PTO, the parent-teacher board at your school. You're going to be sitting somewhere trying to convince a group of people to do something, to take a particular course of action. And you're either going to be successful or you're going to be unsuccessful. And make no mistake about it, the bridge between those two things is sales. Sales 101 is something you use every single day in every single interaction, in every single capacity, in everything that you do. You're selling yourself, you're selling your ideas, you're selling your beliefs, you're selling your needs, you're selling your wants. And if you don't think you are, you're missing out. Developing these skills, putting these skills into theory, putting them into practice, and finding out the mechanics of how they actually work are one of the single most valuable things that you can ever do. Because you're going to need these skills. You're going to need to know how to sell people on your ideas. Because if you don't believe in your own ideas, if you don't believe in yourself, if you cannot transfer your confidence about what you believe to other people, you are going to be left out in the cold. That's it. That's sales. That's what it truly is. You don't have to convince your boss. You don't just have to convince the kids on your little league team to play their positions right or to listen to your coaching. You're going to be convincing your children. You're going to be convincing your significant other. You're going to be convincing your mom or your family, whatever it is. Every single time that you enter a conversation where you have an objective that you're trying to get accomplished, you're putting sales skills that you either have or that you do not have into practice. That's important. That's critical. So when people tell me that they don't want to be in sales or that they can't do sales, I just laugh at them. I can't help it. It boggles my mind that there are people who do not believe that these communication skills are insanely valuable. They're probably some of the most valuable training you can ever get. But you know what people's number one fear is? Number one fear is public speaking. Everybody knows that, right? They're scared to speak in public. They're scared to speak up at a meeting. They're scared to go ask their boss for a raise. It's because they don't know what the outcome is going to be. It's because they don't have the sales skills necessary to evaluate, understand what the other person wants, put themselves in that person's shoes, and give them logical, good, steady reasons why they should believe what you believe. And if you cannot do that, if you cannot give people logical, fundamental reasons why they should agree with you or why they should see your point of view, because you don't have any sales skills, you can't expect them to change. You can't expect them to give you your raise. You can't expect them to give you 3 weeks vacation starting out. You can't expect them to say yes when you ask them to marry you. All of these things are situations when sales skills become important. So whether you're sales 101 and you're just learning basic things like how to get interest, how to engage someone, how to offer an alternate choice close, the simplest things, like if I nod my head, you nod your head. Those things are behaviors that you can learn through sales that dramatically influence and increase your odds of closing your sale. So I want to implore you of this. If you do not know basic sales, try to at least get a rudimentary understanding of it. Read a sales book. Follow a sales blog. Practice role-playing. God, I hated role-playing. I remember role-playing for telemarketing. I remember role-playing for radio sales, and I never wanted to do it. But it is so critically important to practice what you're going to say before you actually go say it. You role play for an interview. That's a sales. That you're closing a sale. You're trying to convince them to buy you. There is no more obvious sale than that. So if you don't know how to pitch someone, if you don't know how to close, if you do not know what an alternate choice close is, you need to go pick up a sales book. You need to learn that sales is not just simply about selling people things they don't want, but it's about selling ideas that you actually believe in to people who actually have a need. It's finding that need and tailoring a solution to fill that need in a meaningful way to a customer. Because at the end of the day, if you could really save them money, if you could save their life, if you could offer them something better than what they have now for less than what they're paying now, you'd be doing them a favor, wouldn't you? And that's the perception of sales that doesn't seem to ever want to get shared. That's the perception of sales that I want to deliver. Because your wallet is closer to your heart than your head. And at the end of the day, if you practice these skills, if you, honest to God, give it a chance, you learn how to put them in use, you will see a catastrophic difference in how effective you are at communicating. After all, amateurs practice until they get it right. Professionals practice until they can't get it wrong. Do your homework. Do a little study. Find out what sales is really about. And go find a way to put that into your daily use. So, I want to leave you with this challenge today. I want to leave you with one challenge. I want you to find 3 closes. 3 simple closes. Alternate choice close should absolutely be one of those. But go do a little research. Read just a little bit on how to close a sale. You won't believe how many people don't know basic negotiation. And I'll tell you where I put this into play in the most effective way. I put this into play in the most effective way with my 6-year-old and my 5-year-old. It's, hey, what do you want for dinner versus do you want a corn dog or do you want pizza? That's alternate choice. I give you 2 options. Neither one of them is no. Do you want the red car or the blue car? Not, do you want to buy a car today? You're giving them options to choose from. No is not on the menu. That simple trick right there is one of the most valuable things that you can ever use. Hey, boss, look, in order to start this job, I'm going to need a 10% pay bump or an extra week of vacation. Up to you which one, doesn't matter to me. That's an insanely powerful tool. You need to be using these. You need to understand them. And you need to be selling something that you can get behind and that you can believe in. That is critically important. So today, I want to sign off sending you to do 3 things. I want you to understand that sales is for everyone in every profession, and that whether you know it or not, you use it every single day. Number 2, I want you to know that that is a lifelong skill, and once you master it, it never goes away. The fundamental skills of sales stay around forever. And number 3 is that no matter who you are, no matter what you think your proficiency level is, if you sell something you believe in, that you really care about, to someone who really needs that thing, you will be good at it. You will be really good at it. Sales is not a profession for deceitful liars. It's not a profession for con artists. The best salespeople are good people helping other people make buying decisions. And that's where I want to leave you today. Go learn a couple closes. Go put these skills in action. It is insanely valuable, and I promise you that you will find yourself using these tactics, these skills, every single day once you've mastered them. Thanks again for tuning in. Catch you soon.